Hi, this is Brian. I am going to show you how to install XMarker computer-aided translation tool for XLIF 2.0 on the Macintosh. I'm only going to show the installation because the operation has previously been recorded on Windows video, and the operation is virtually the same. So what I would do is I would recommend, after you've installed on the Macintosh, then consult the other video that we did for how to operate XMarker. But anyway, here's how you install it. So you've received this XMarker DMG installation file. So we double click this, and what this does is it starts up our installer, just standard Mac operation here, and it's really just this simple. You click the icon here and you drag it into the applications icon here, and there you have it. You've installed XMarker. So maybe I will do just a few demonstrations. So then if we go to our applications, we see that XMarker did indeed install. You can drag this down to your, you can drag this down to your Docker, do whatever you want to do. But I'm just going to start it from here. Okay. So, and then I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm working with two screens here, so it's showing up on my other screen, and then I have to kind of move it into view. Okay, so once the XMarker interface shows up, as I said, the operation is the very same as the way we explained it on the Windows video. So I'll just quickly talk about a couple of things here. We have the buttons for file operations on the left-hand side here. We have the buttons for the translation here. We have the buttons for the validation here. We have the XLIF module buttons on the right-hand side, and we have the XMarker utility buttons on the lower right-hand side. We have our lock and unlock screen button here. We can print, we can zoom, and we have the space that shows us where our file is. So the way this would work is that you would just say open file, and during the installation it created this XMarkers directory for you in your home directory. Okay, so if you click here, you'll notice that you have this in directory, and in the in directory you have all of the sample files that will make this so that you can exercise every one of the functions in this software. As I said before, I would recommend looking at the Windows video to see the more inclusive all features display. But for now, we can just, for example, if we want to check the change tracking, we can just open our change tracking file, and we can zoom in, and we see that this is just a garden variety file. If we want to check the change tracking against another file, we go to our change track file tab here, and we go over here and we say set change track file, and we'll just check it against version 2 here. And what that does is it pops up a window and it says this is my change track file. Do you want to set this as your base? And we'll say yes. So now we have our change track file that we're tracking against our XLIF file. So now if we go over into the right hand side and we say change tracking, we see that it will create this screen that says this is the result. And what it did is it put in the CTR namespace, which is supported by XLIF 2.0, the change tracking. Okay, we can move that to source, and we get a message that says we're going to overwrite the original file. We say that's okay. Okay, so now if we wanted to go ahead and translate this file, we hit the translate button, and oops, oh, there was a problem with this file. Okay, so that's pretty cool. What you see is that the schema validation actually doesn't let us, I didn't mean to demonstrate that. There was something wrong with that file, but what it did is it actually, the schema validation would not let us translate the file until we fix whatever's wrong. So to fix whatever's wrong, we could unlock our screen, and that will let us get in here and make changes to our file. I didn't catch what the XML error was, but we could change it here and we could save it, and then we can validate it again and so forth. So that's basically I'm just going to clear this file, and I'm going to get a file. I don't know what was wrong with that file. I'll fix it before this software is distributed. I'm going to open another XLIF file. Let's open the just any file. This is the TC, the translation candidates file. So if I wanted to translate this, I can just go ahead and translate it, and it gives me the opportunity to, the source is here, the target is here, I can do my translations, etc., etc. And then when I'm done, I can be done. But I'm not going to save this. I guess this gives me the opportunity to demonstrate another feature. So if I want to use the translation candidates feature, for example, I can open a translation memory file. So I set my TM file, and again this comes right out of the box. I go into my TM directory, and I'm going to say all formats. I'm going to pick my TMX file, and that pulls up another window, and it says, do you like this translation memory? And I see that it has some of the translation segments that I want, so I'm going to set it as my TM, and then it, let me zoom in a little bit, so it says here's your translation memory file. So if I go back to my XLIF file now and I hit the translation candidates, what it's going to say is that we found all of these, I'll zoom in a little bit, we found all of these translation candidates, and we put them in this MTC matches namespace. For example, for this first segment, it found in our translation memory that we had a German translation for that file. So I'm going to say, okay, I'll move that to source. And now we have an enriched file with translation memory in our translation candidates namespace. So now if I translate, it tells me that I have a match. So I'm going to view the match. And indeed, this is a good 100% match. So I'm going to put it on my clipboard. And it tells me that the following segment is now on my clipboard. So I say OK. And now if I say paste match, it put the German from the translation memory in our target space there. Okay. So when I'm done, I now see that I have at least one of my segments here is translated into the target language. Oops, I better lock that. And now I can't make any changes. Okay, so anyway, that's the way that works. I could show you all of these features, but I choose not to. As I said before, I'm going to just refer to the Windows video, which I will post the URL for, which does show all of the modules and so forth. Again, if you want to look at the specification, it's here. If you want to look at the help file, it's here. If you want to look at the license, it's here. Okay, and I can view the license, etc. Okay, so now I really am going to end this video. Hope this is useful for you. If you have any questions or need any customizations to the software, don't hesitate to ask the good people at XMarker. Thank you. Bye.